I don't know where Katt is, but that nigga is waiting for all of us. Katt is gonna kill us all.
I don't realize I don't have any idea where feline is, nevertheless that is sitting tight for us all. Feline will kill us all, wow. I love everyone except I love feline was more love of many individuals, and that is shot in the dark who's working up the satire world again. It's in all honesty, Dave Chappelle, and this time he has something hot to say regarding Feline Williams' most recent title snatching interview. So picture this, it's Friday night at the San Jose Comedy, and the group is humming. Dave makes that big appearance and burns through no time jumping into the hotly debated issue. He's absolutely not energetic about Feline's new takedown of satire symbols. Cedric the performer and Steve Harvey, as far as Dave can tell, Feline's searing words are causing more damage than great in Giggle Business discuss a show-filled night in the realm of stand-up parody and a stunning night that got everybody talking. The unbelievable Dave Chappelle imparted the stage to. In all honesty, the silly D. Davis and the hilarious Dion Cole. Now we as a whole know Dave for his very severe no telephone rule during his shows, right? Yet, think about what it resembles. He relaxed a piece this time, since scraps of his blazing set are springing up all over virtual entertainment. And let me spill the really here. Dave went full on in his tirade about Feline Williams. He resembles what's happening here. Felines over here shooting our own, not in any event, contacting a hair on those white humorous heads. Dave's message was clear: Feline's an expert craftsman in the satire world. So for what reason is he laying out such terrible pictures of individual entertainers? Everything revolves around hurt individuals, harming individuals, yet Dave, he makes it clear. He's harmed yet never plays that game. Gracious the show. The parody world is in a spin, and we're hanging around for all of it. Recall that unstable meeting where the Friday after next star, our own personal Feline Williams, set free on satire monsters like Cedric, Is Harvey, and even Kevin Hart. Well, think about what he didn't let out the slightest peep about Dave Chappelle yet. Here's the succulent part. The parody goat Dave himself isn't precisely excited about it. Dave's moving forward and sharing his contemplations, and everything revolves around disillusionment. He's taking a gander at Feline's red-hot comments about a portion of Hollywood's top dark jokesters and believing, is this a distraction? Mimicking Williams. Chappelle set up this one F that one I hear. Nothing that you fouled up. He didn't do nothing out of sorts. Feline didn't do nothing out of sorts. The pimp narrative's wisecracker charges about peers incorporate cases that pieces of his biography and a notable joke were separately torn by Harvey and Cedric, yet the Emmy Grant-winning performer isn't the main comic to run into issues in the business. Chappelle proceeded, on the off chance that I recounted my story, it would make you extremely upset. I lost all that and never under any circumstance told on anyone. And this was the referee of truth. Feline, listen, I with feline hard yet D. Let me know which part of the game up one more paper. Everything a piece of the game is tied in with saying to on another, and the silly entertainer would proceed to address why Williams would questionably get down on his companions when we all are attempting to be in a superior, better circumstance. He said both Cedric and Hart have tended to the profoundly discussed contention Harvey anyway has selected to know. Enjoy the exchange. It is evident that 2024 will be a year that is brimming with shocks, as it as of now has been, from the arrival of Dave Chappelle's new Netflix satire, unique to Feline Williams' 3-hour-long meeting. On Club Shade there is a ton that has been said, so it might be said. It's been a quite enormous 2 or 3 weeks for the two joke artists with solid connections to the Dayton locale. Both have been called out for blending the pot when everybody knows great and well that is what they excel at. While Feline Williams didn't keep down when it came to sharing his story, he rushed to uncover every individual who has at any point verbally expressed down on him. Yet Dave Chappelle was doing things apiece contrastingly, and they each had remarked pretty much everything that was shared. Why? Feline Williams was on the subject of uncovering liars. For example, Ricky Smiley for saying he was in the first projecting of the Friday after next film. He likewise felt free to mark Cedric the perfect murmur for being a liar too. He let Shannon know that when he facilitated Cedric on his web recording and found out if he had taken his joke a long time back, he misled him by saying it didn't arrange. Feline Williams then on to address Kevin Hart for being an industry plant on the off chance that you Don't know the two have previously had hamburger in the past in light of multiple factors yet. While on the web recording, he made sense of how Kevin's origin story looked bad, as he was never selling out shows in parody clubs before getting a lead job in the film Soul Plane. While Kevin Hart answered Feline Williams by going on the Morning Meal Club, charging him for faulting Hollywood for his private matters. Feline Williams DP somewhere near making sense of why Kevin Hart would do in a real sense anything for progress. While Feline Williams had answered Kevin Hart's allegations of substance misuse and swindling studios, he made a point to make his position all the more clear when he excused Kevin's claims on Shannon's digital broadcast, guaranteeing he not even once disapproved of unlawful substances and substantially less film studios. He even proceeded to say that he and Kevin Hart have not been in similar spot simultaneously in north of 25 years. Feline Williams proceeds to be unyielding about Kevin offering his spirit to individuals who control media outlets. And to give you some setting, he's alluding to the well-established gossip that dark male performers in Hollywood are compelled into wearing a dress in a film before they're permitted to advance into a higher degree of distinction. This talk, anyway, is starting to appear to be all the more a reality as opposed to a basic paranoid idea, as numerous jokesters and entertainers have gone out to discuss their very comparable encounters with the dress. Dave Chappelle is one of the principal joke artists that has cautioned the general population of the risks behind consenting to put on a dress for a film, and this isn't something that of late begun happening since even back in 2006 when he showed up on The Oprah Show. Dave discussed why he turned down a $50 million arrangement from Funny TV. Dave proceeds to make sense of that. The explanation concerning why he turned down the arrangement was on the grounds that he realized that the sort of cash he was being offered would accompany specific circumstances, conditions that Dave made sense of. He was not happy with Kevin Hart showed up in a meeting where he was gotten some information about the dress circumstance, and in spite of the fact that he didn't unequivocally express that he could never put on a dress, he clarified that he wouldn't step over his very own limits yet. Only a year after the fact, Kevin Hart showed up in a SNL production where he was wearing a dress for clear reasons. You can perceive how fans would start to blame him for being a sellout. You can likewise start to see that perhaps all that Dave Chappelle and Feline Williams discussed isn't simply a paranoid idea, a yet rather reality with regards to the truth behind turning into a genius in Hollywood. This isn't the initial time Feline Williams has called out other big-name joke artists for these sorts of allegations, and this is certainly not whenever these sort of allegations first have been made about VIPs in Hollywood. A long time back, Feline Williams offered a few pretty wild expressions about Dave Chappelle's vocation being obliterated by disappointed chiefs during a new radio meeting, while at the same time advancing his impending HBO extraordinary, at the time extremely valuable. The comic went on the Daybreak Wizardry Wand show to slash it up about other forces to be reckoned with in the parody game. Feline might have a tremendous following, yet he's modest about his ability. He holds up Bernie Mac as a gigantic motivation in his own profession. That is when things began to go left, since Feline went on a sudden digression, pretty much everything happening in the background in media outlets. The explanation you don't have a clue about these accounts is on the grounds that there's nobody to tell you, and you can't make me let you know, the comic said with a grin. Feline was dropping a few significant allegations about what he guarantees happened to Dave Chappelle's profession in those days. Without naming any names, the troubled comic suggested that the people pulling the strings at Good Times TV contrived to demolish Dave's profession by killing his personality. Dave Chappelle was beheaded before Rhea said Feline they called him Pilot Kid since he had 19 pilots in Hollywood and everyone passed on him and said his show wasn't worth the effort. Then, when he made $500 million despite the fact that his agreement said he ought to get half of it, they said he made a lot for the agreement to be legitimate. As per Feline Chiefs offered Dave $50 million on an agreement which is just 10% of what he really made. When Dave fought being horribly come up short on, Feline expressed that Chiefs rushed to earn on him. He got out. Whatever do you think my fans will say when they figure out you offered me 10% of what I made you? And they said your fans will accept that you're an insane crackhead when you return home, Feline expressed when he got to Ohio. It was so Feline added 8 years after the fact he hasn't been in a film or on TV. He's simply doing whatever it takes not to do his genuine rebound now. In spite of the fact that he dropped these claims, the two have remained